So right now, I'm in the middle of filming a 240 video, but today, at this point, I'm ready to lay down that base coat and clear coat, but it's too cold, so I'm gonna have to kind of wait and hold off on that, and I figured rather than uploading nothing, because I know it's been a little while, I'm just gonna work on the Ranchero. We got a bunch of things to do on that, so that's what this video is gonna be about.
And now, you're watching the rusty plastic of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. Like I said, 240 upload should have been up by now, but we can't fight the weather. If it's too cold, I'm not gonna paint, and that's not because I don't feel like painting when it's cold. That's because the products aren't gonna work the same if the temperature isn't within a certain range that it needs to be, and 60 degrees is not up to that range. So, what we got going on is I just picked up the drive shaft yesterday. I got this made over in Orlando, kind of near OBT and John Young, if you're familiar with the area. So we got to put the drive shaft in. This is the first time, and this is really a huge step. And we're gonna see if the Ranchero will move under its own power. So right now, kind of my mindset with the old Ranchero is I just want to get that first run. I want to drive it around the shop. I don't want to take it anywhere too far. I just want to get the car rolling. So, it's nasty stuff. So everything I'm doing right now is kind of just a little bit temporary, you know, like these bolts, I'm not gonna tighten them to spec. I'm just gonna kind of do them, not hand tight, a little bit tighter than hand tight, because again, I just want to get it to ride around the shop. And then once I can ride it around the shop a little while, make sure there's no issues. And then, man, there's nasty stuff in here, boy. So once I ride it around the shop for a little while, make sure there's no major issues, because the last thing I want to do is finalize everything and then have to tear it back apart again. I'd rather just kind of make it easy for myself if I have to get to that point. So this drive shaft that I needed to get made, I didn't only need to get it made to specification as far as length, it also needed the right slip yoke and rear yoke or differential yoke, whatever you want to call that. So the slip yoke, I used that from the 2004 Mustang, which is what the transmission is, and then the rear yoke, that's from the 1998 Ford Explorer. So it's the correct length now, and it has both of the proper yokes. So right now, at the first glance, I mean, everything is what I was hoping. You know, it all fits, everything's just fine. The slip yoke went right in. This yoke is all good. I was kind of worried when I was dropping the stuff off because the old Mustang rear yoke was still on there, and I had to tell them to put on the Explorer yoke, and it seems like they weren't paying attention, but I guess they all got it together. So now, the biggest problem that I'm seeing is right here. There is very, very minimal clearance. So we're gonna have to modify the floor a little bit before it can actually drive. But right now, I want to see if the transmission goes into gear, if the rear tires are spinning like they should be. Just make sure everything's working like it should. But before I do that, I just decided I'm going to put the car in the ground and see what happens. I mean, I'm just going to kind of be light with the clutch, make sure everything's working like it should. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to want to kind of pull it out, and I'm going to want to put it around just because, really just for the satisfaction. I mean, the drive shaft is definitely going to have to come back out. The entire transmission tunnel is going to have to be raised probably by, I don't know, 3 inches or so. Now that's not a big problem because I already know the solution. It's just a matter of doing the work. But now, before I kind of put it around the shop, I want to finalize the whole front end. I just left everything loose because the car wasn't going anywhere. So now I kind of want to center the rack. I'm going to turn it all the way in one direction, then all the way in the other direction, and count those. And once I find the rack's center point, then I'm going to back out the tie rods until the tires are about straight. And this is just super rough. Obviously, I'm gonna go get a professional alignment, but I want it to at least be okay for me to pull it around the shop. And like I said, that's just for my own satisfaction. Really, I shouldn't take it out on the road or anything, but I just want to see the car move. That'll give me big motivation to get it finished and get it on the road. Alright, right, so we just topped off the fluid. Right here, I wanted to show you how I did the transmission fluid thing. I made this little access hole right there, so that way I could put the transmission fluid in right there and I wouldn't need any kind of pump or anything crazy. And that makes it really easy. And it's kind of funny, this manual transmission, the Tremec T5, takes automatic transmission fluid. Kind of weird, but that's just what it takes. So, I guess it's time to go. So to take it out for the first time, I mean, it wasn't much, but dude, it is crazy. There's still a bunch of issues that need to be worked out. I noticed that the drive shaft is just smacking on the body whenever I go over any bumps. And again, that's no big deal. We're just gonna kind of redo the tunnel and that'll be just fine. And also, I gotta keep an eye on the temp as it's sitting here. I just gotta keep making sure everything's okay. But the clutch felt awesome. The power felt awesome. I just want to take it on a road. It's kind of weird to take it around here to feel it out, but for the first run, I cannot even express how excited I am to have this car moving under its own power. Man, so overall, pretty successful first run. I mean, I wouldn't have even thought that we would have been driving the car at this point. We were kind of planning on, we were shooting for after New Year's to be driving the car around. And we got plenty of time, so now we just got to work out those kinks. It's only up from here. The drive shaft, that definitely is giving me issues. When I took it out on the street, you know, the torque monster, as soon as you're hitting the gas, the back wants to squat. As soon as the rear squats, the drive shaft makes contact with the body. But that's no issue. We're just going to have to cut it out, put a new tunnel in there, and that's going to be no problem. And then that's really the biggest hurdle right now. Once that's done and out of the way, we'll look for the next kink to work out until the car doesn't have any flaws and we're driving it down the street. Man, I'm definitely hype on this build, and that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize if it was a little bit short. Like I stated at the beginning of the video, I planned on having the 240 upload by now, but it was too cold today for me to paint, so that video will be coming real soon. We're gonna get the entire interior of the 240 SX painted. It's gonna look great, and then we're gonna move on to the exterior, so that's cool to look forward to. This is only gonna get better from here, and that's all. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out.